welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and the Flea. Hey.
Whoa.
Okay, it's Thursday. Do you remember Throwback Thursday?
Yeah. Everyone
Hashtag
posting.
TBA. Wait,
We should.
TBT.
Yeah.
TBT.
TBT. You could do like, man, they would do. There used to be some goodies that were
Did you used to
posted.
like participate in all of those things?
back
like
in my, like-
MCM,
No, I've
W-
never done a MCM.
I never. Well,
I've never been a Woman Crush Wednesday.
I've only been a woman crushed by like my friends.
Yeah,
you know. So,
By no men.
if anyone wants to like shout me out,
Yeah,
on next
we're
week-
ready. Please help the Swap sisters.
Seriously, or like. Yeah, on Mondays I would always post, you know, the celebs, like the Channings
yeah.
and
Oh,
whatever.
totally.
Like, and be like, Crush Monday, Chance the Rapper. If you're listening and you're and you need a date, so
I mean, he is getting divorced.
Chano, I'm here. Okay. Anyways, but I thought we haven't like really thrown it back in a minute, so
No.
I want to talk about some old school shopping places, and like mostly this was triggered because I don't know, did you ever go to Foxtrot in Chicago?
Yeah, here
It's
and
like
there.
a local coffee / like market, and then they owned Dom's, like, which was like
Yes, kitchen. And,
yes, which was like a big grocery store essentially.
Listen, yes, of course. I've lived in Chicago for 5 years. I've gone in.
Yeah.
I was not a strong supporter. I just felt like everything was like so overpriced.
Yeah.
But like, of course, I would like go in, or I actually went to a few like meetings there to meet people.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You can work from your lights, like a good spot to like work with your laptop and like, you know, that whole thing.
No, it's definitely like a good vibe. I literally probably I think have had coffee there once.
That's what I mean. Like mine
There's
has
just
been like
never been
under
one
a
by
handful.
me.
Yeah. Same.
So like I was never like a diehard, right?
Yeah.
But it was like a big thing in the news here. Like I don't know if you like followed it, but it was like insane.
They
and,
just
like,
closed the
TikTok was, like,
doors.
throwing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's still like, you know, if you walk by them, they have all their food in the refrigerated section still, everything. And I'm like, dude, do you know how many homeless people or immigrants that are literally
No, I know.
outside that you could have just like given that stuff to them? Like now you're just going to throw all of it away.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the thought
For
process
reference,
there?
if you're listening and you have no idea what we're talking about, Foxtrot is like a local coffee / marketplace that randomly.
But it's also in other. It's also in
Yeah,
other
it's
like
in other
cities.
places, yeah.
It's like big city.
So it basically just like
Closed its doors.
told their, from what I saw, like from like employees like coming out with it, their like upper management had like a meeting at 9 a.m. and then like at like 9:18 a.m. they were like, pack everything up, like we're closed. They kicked everyone out that was like in there, and that was it. Like wrapped it up. Everyone was like out without jobs. Like people had been working there for like obviously decades, like, or however many years, and it was just over. And there was no explanation, there was no warning, there was no nothing. So it was like a big hoopla around here, like honestly, and I would be too. But I also heard that the employees, like the managers told like the employees, you have like 20 minutes to like gather whatever you want from the store.
Oh,
and, like,
really?
And you can scoot.
Dang.
I'm like, I mean, that's kind of like rude because I'm still pissed. I just lost my job.
I mean, yeah, I'm
but
definitely
what's some kombucha gonna do? You know, I don't know. It's kind of shysty.
Yeah, that is shiesty.
Anyways, but with that being said, I feel like there's so many more stores closing, which kind of triggered this episode.
Yeah. There is.
So yeah, so let's talk about it a
Okay.
little bit. Well, first of all, like as a kid, do you have any nostalgia to like shopping or like watching commercials, like
commercials?
and stuff
I'm like
that?
can't really remember, but I remember like as a kid getting like, don't you remember they would like send like catalogs?
Yes.
What happened?
I
You
don't
remember
know.
like JC
Dude,
Penney
like,
had like a 400
Toys R Us would.
thick-
It was yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. And I would sit there and like circle and
Everything and like
and my
yes.
mom would not give a rat's you know what.
my
She'd
mom
just
would be like,
"Tight."
there's you literally circled the 100
Everything.
things that
Yeah.
you want. Yeah.
Well, I like too, like every time we would watch like cartoons like Saturday morning or whatever, I just remember like being like, Mom, I want that. Mom, I want that. Like I feel like every commercial was
a lot
like
of like
a
commercial.
toy.
It was, and it was like Polly Pockets,
Barbies. Yeah, for sure.
Legos. I remember like
I was like a big Barney gal. There was like a bunch.
Loved Barney.
Barney, Sesame Street, Arthur.
If you think about right now, Barney is like low-key weird. It's like this big purple dinosaur just
I love you.
You love me. Like, what? I'm sorry. Right now, if I had a kid, I'm not putting Barney on. I don't want to hear that.
Barney's my friend. Okay, like you cannot talk about my guy like that.
I loved him too.
Don't do my guy.
I loved him too. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I guess we could have a whole other episode on that, okay?
For sure.
But anyways, so I just remember like that always being like my shopping trigger, being like,
it was
Mom,
like,
there's a new toy, like we got to go get it.
Yep. Disney Channel and like Nickelodeon always had
the
like
Temptations were freaking real.
And then when the holidays were around and everyone sent the catalog, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
All the options here.
Yeah. Seriously. I don't know. A moment for like my past. You know what I mean? But okay, so going back to some like all of these like major stores that are closing. Recently, I think like within the past like few weeks, so many big brands have like announced closings, or like not if they're like closing altogether, but even just, hey, we're closing 100 stores. Yeah. So just to bring up a few, Family Dollar, which is owned by Dollar Tree, okay, they're closing 600 stores, with more to come as leases expire in 2024.
I'm not surprised by that. Really? I feel like there's a ton of theft there.
Really?
We live across from one.
Oh, wow. I guess I never really thought about that.
People run out with the baskets full of stuff.
Wow.
I like watch it. I'm like, this is so fleet up. Like literally just, and the worker will like walk outside and the people are already around the corner. I'm like, come on.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Yeah. I mean, it's messy because it's like,
it's messy.
It's probably like $25 worth of stuff, which is like, 25? Really, do you want to like get in trouble?
There was like 4 teenagers literally this week.
Oh, wow.
All loaded up. There was probably $100 of stuff, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, that sucks.
And like there's only usually like 1 or 2 workers who are like responsible for watching the whole store,
right?
And so honestly, I'm not that surprised by that.
Yeah, no, I think that's like a big reason why a lot of places are closing. But okay, like even just think about like a big store like that. I feel like there was like a time period where like every other day, like there was like a new store popping up. Oh, there's another dollar store. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Like, did they overdo it? Whatever.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Like, there's so many.
Seriously.
Maybe like you don't need one on every block.
Well, especially like where I'm from in Indiana, I feel like every town had a dollar store. It wasn't like, you know, there was like one that that like certain towns shared. Is like, I feel like there's one Chicago everywhere. Is. Yeah, that's true. Okay, CVS. 900 locations with 300 in 2024 are also closing, and they said it's because of changing population and buying habits. So I don't know. Again, I think every time I go back home in the suburbs, like there's like no one in there every time I go to CVS.
It's creepy.
It is weird.
It's like one person, like literally hello.
I know.
It's the same when I go back to Michigan. I'm like, are we?
Hey.
I feel like I'm in a ghost land.
Or no,
somebody about to just pop out and kill me.
Like, I feel like they're like staring at me, and I'm like, I'm just here to get a card.
So awkward. Yeah,
it's so weird.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Foot Locker. They're closing 113 locations this year as a strategy to shift from mall-based shopping to more like online.
I'm not surprised.
Well,
the malls are going to be.
You're late to the game, Foot Locker. I feel like a lot of people have been doing that
for a while.
Yeah. This one makes me sad because this used to be like one of my favorite stores in like my late 20s. Express is closing 107 stores, including 12 of its Up West brand, which is like another brand that they go by.
Really?
Yeah, they filed for bankruptcy. I know. I'm like sad, and usually that means
Wow,
It's
I
over.
guess I should go there soon and get
I have
like
a few
load
gift cards,
up,
dude. Like when I
you
saw
tell
that,
me
I
when
was
you're
like,
ready.
yeah, we need to
No,
go.
I'm serious. They have great like professional stuff.
Yes.
And like going out stuff.
Yes.
I used to get so many like I just lost my train. New Year's Eve dresses.
Oh,
Jeez.
I'm like, okay, new what?
New Year's Eve dresses, because it would be like the sequins, the sparkles,
Yes.
the beading.
Yes,
they were
did
really
really
good
good.
with that.
They were like one of the first brands, at least that I was like introduced to, where like you would walk into the store and it'd be like a really good, like their layouts were always so nice to me, because it was like, oh, this is like where all the professional clothing is, like the tailored pants, whatever. And then over here it was like the going out stuff, and then like over like they did really good in like designing their store. At least I thought so. It wasn't like a free for all. It was very like organized and clean, and you know, you could go in there and like get what you needed. I don't know, so that bums me out. Express,
I haven't heard that yet, and that kind of caught me off guard.
yeah
Interesting.
Macy's, next one.
I'm not surprised. Okay.
50 stores to close in 2024 with a plan to close 150 within the next 3 years.
Macy's is a storm. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. When you walk in there, it's so messy.
Really?
Clothes on the floor. I could never, like, so when I lived in the Loop, I was close to, like, you know, the big Macy's, and I could never find anyone to help me. Literally ever. I'd be like, can someone unlock the dressing room? I guess I'll crawl underneath.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I haven't been I don't live by one close now.
Right.
So I like can't like talk about my experience now, but I'm not shocked.
Yeah,
the Michigan one is a crazy mess too. I'm like,
yeah, it's interesting because now that you say that, I'm like, wait, the Indiana one's not the greatest either.
Yeah.
It's like very...
Like, it's like everything that's picked over, old looking, old tiles, and it's like everything that's like picked over that people don't want, they put in one store.
Right.
You feel that?
Yeah, and also they don't carry like really designer brands anymore.
Like Nordstrom does.
Yeah,
I think when like it was like Marshall Fields and like Hudson's, it was thriving. I remember when it was Hudson's and Marshall Fields, my grandma would like pick me up. We would do like, you know, little day dates, go out to eat, and like they had a restaurant there.
Oh wow.
The Marshall Fields and Hudson had like super good restaurant.
Nice.
And we would like start there, and I swear like once they sold it to Macy's, it just, what is the word? Kaplooped?
Kaput. Oh my god, my mom uses that word.
Yeah, well that's literally that's what I feel.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's true. I don't know. It's gone down, but okay, Rite Aid is another store. We didn't have this one in Indiana, so I'm not really sure. But
Michigan had like a few, but it was the same awkward, like one person when you walk in. You're like,
oh, so it's kind of like a CVS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a It's like another Walgreens CVS. Yes.
Okay, so they filed for bankruptcy and 77 stores are closing with an additional 150 in the next year. Another brand, Tuesday Morning. This is kind of like, I think it was more upscale, but it was like a Pier 1 type store. Like it sold home goods. They filed for bankruptcy and they're closing 200 locations. Bed Bath & Beyond.
I know.
Oh, that makes me sad too.
They had everything.
They did have everything. And it was like a really nice store, but I'm sorry, like you can't compete with Amazon, dogs.
No, you can't.
Like if you want a toaster, I want it at my door tomorrow. Like I'm not going to Bed Bath & Beyond. Right? Like I don't know. I just feel bad, but
this is what everyone needs to kind of realize. This is the way it's shifting. It really is. And then you know you have more and more like boomers and like Gen Y and everything like starting to retire and like getting older, and like now it's our generation like in these jobs and these roles.
Totally.
I'm ordering online.
I know.
I don't got patience. If it can come today between 2 and 6,
right. Well, and that's
I'm hot and bothered.
I'm like, 4 to 11. You could get that. Oh,
we literally hello. I will stay up. And you know
I'll
in bed
be waiting.
early.
I'll be waiting. No, but like it's true because especially like a lot of like home brands like that.
Yep.
Like for example, Huntington Beach, right? Like I know that's a quality thing that's really affordable, whatever kind of thing I get. So okay, if I have the toaster of it, yeah, maybe I'll get the blender of it too. Like why do I need to go to the store to see
you already
it?
know?
Yeah, like it's
A no-brainer.
I know. And I just feel bad. So they started closing a bunch of stores, but now they're like kind of officially closing the ones that they even like left behind. And I also read in that article that they've shifted to an online business, which is like under new management. So I don't know how that'll work. Maybe that'll work for them. Mm-hmm. So, and then Party City. This year.
Okay.
They filed for bankruptcy in 2023, and a dozen stores will be closing soon. And then Walmart. Okay, so they're only closing 7 stores this year.
Okay.
Of the lowest performing ones. But even for a big brand like that, that's kind of scary to hear.
Kind of surprising.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk maybe some stores that we used to love that are no longer.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Charming Charlie's.
Charming freaking Charlie's.
Dude, any type of accessory you want. You want a starfish bracelet? They got it.
Okay.
You want all the gold chains?
We need to address the real reason why Charming Charlie's was a boss. It was because it was like literally the yellow section, dude. The purple section, the blues. I'm like, oh, F me up, flea me up.
It was so good.
You want a pink stud? We got it.
Yep.
You want a pink pearl?
Yep.
Right over there.
Yep.
You want...
No, I'm serious.
It was so cool.
Loved it.
Brown section, like everything you wanted.
Uh-huh.
Like bib neck. Love Charming Charlie's. Bring it back.
I know. So that one.
Oh, look.
What seal?
Dude.
First off, that material that they sold... I remember my mom being like, do not wash this. Don't wash it at all because it's not going. Oh my God. I mean, it was like cheap, but you could find, especially at that, like at
you
that
needed
age,
a fit to go out for the
anywhere.
night.
Clubbing.
$25 got you a whole fit.
Shoes and a dress.
Man. And a clutch.
Gadzooks.
Okay, Gadzooks.
I worked there.
You did?
My first retail job.
Wait, that's fun.
Can you see it?
Hey,
welcome to Gadzooks. My name's Rachel. Let me know if you need any help.
Wow. Okay.
Limited to.
Loved.
But I didn't buy, like, my grandma would spoil me with limited to stuff.
See, yeah, we would go hard when it was like the limited to cash. You remember when you would like spend 25, you got, or spend 50, get 25 or whatever?
Yep.
Man.
I remember specifically an outfit I got from there. It was purple lavender corduroy pants, a purple and blue sparkly shirt. All the colors. Look at me now. I'm like always muted.
Oh yeah, me too. I think it's because when we were kids, like I just was so loud and proud.
Literally.
But okay, fun fact, because limited to is on my list too. It's Justice now.
Oh.
They
is
just like
still around.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So the little girls are still getting the hype. It's just not called what it was. Yeah. I freaking loved Limited to though. It just made me feel so girly and so powerful.
Yes.
Every time I went in there,
they
and
had
like
the cutest stuff.
It was just fun in there. Like you could be like having the worst day ever, and my mom would be like, "Let's go to the mall," and I'd be like, "Can we go to Limited to?"
Yeah.
The glitter, the like everything.
Sparkles.
They had like a photo booth at ours.
I know. Same.
Like it was so fun.
Huge. The store was huge in Michigan.
I loved it.
And then lastly, Delia's.
Oh, okay. Delia's was more like that transition, like teen, right before your 20s.
Yep.
I don't know. It wasn't my vibe.
I liked it in like middle school, early high school. Like they had like some good like bras, like sports bras,
good jeans. They were known for
like cotton
hoodies
basics
and like zip ups and stuff. I remember girls getting there all the time. It was also like a very clean aesthetic.
Totally. Like now, I feel like it would do well.
Yeah, it was cool.
Then, not so much. People were not about the, clean girl.
I know. Okay, I'm going to read some too that... So some of these like either claim bankruptcy, so like have significantly come back or have closed altogether. But Nine West is a big brand. I remember like stores everywhere.
Love.
Even like their brand still now, like they're very affordable and good quality. Yep. Okay, American Apparel. You remember that?
My God. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
So good. They had really thick basics too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
their
the sweaters.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, with that Aeropostale. Aeropostale, Aero.
Postal.
At our mall, it was right next to Abercrombie.
It was next to American Eagle at our mall.
Or yeah, it was
and
American
Delia's
Eagle.
Was across.
Oh my god, yeah. So they were like all lined up. So
Yep.
it was so funny too, because you could kind of tell like what class bracket people were in.
Yeah.
Because it was like Aeropostale was probably for like, you know, like that's where we always went. And then there was like American Eagle, which was like a step up and like a little bit more expensive. And then if you were freaking thriving, you were going to Abercrombie. Yes. For real. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
I went in there because of the really adorable cashiers. Just saying. Okay, H.H. Gregg, did you guys have that?
No.
It was a furniture store,
Okay.
like kind of like an Ashley.
Did you guys ever have Art Van?
We had Art Van. Okay. Oh my god, yeah, that recently closed too. Okay, Fred's I've never heard of, but that was on here. GameStop is another one that's like really downsized. Okay, Papyrus.
Yes.
Remember that store?
Like the stationery cards.
Yes. It was very boutique. It was really, a boutique chain, if you will. Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, went there.
Man.
You still love it.
Dude.
Are they even around?
They're like
online.
It's on the
last leg.
On the outs for sure. Which again makes me pretty sad. Okay, Avenue stores, that was like a plus size brand, but I remember them kind of being place. BB.
Oh my god, I loved BB. I had multiple big slouchy hobo size handbags from them.
They had good dresses too, but they were one of those like, again, like I don't want to say designer brands, but it was more like of an achievable brand. Like I remember I could afford some things from BB when I was like, 20 versus like, it was like that and Armani we could afford, but like some of the other brand like Louis, Gucci, like that wasn't really in our price range back then. You know what I mean? Dress Barn. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
It was a little old lady.
But there was a thing.
It was legit.
Yeah.
Okay, Warner Brothers, they used to have stores.
Yeah, I remember.
You do?
Yeah, there was one in 12 Oaks Mall in Novi.
Oh, we didn't have a Warner Brothers store. At least I can't remember one.
We did.
Interesting.
It was weird, kind of.
Did you have a store called Zany Brainy?
Yeah. Like all sorts.
It was like a discount store.
Yep.
And I guess like now whoever owned it, whoever like was like on like they were on like VP or CEO, whatever, they now founded Five Below. Fun fact.
Got it.
Okay. Ames department store, AMES. It was like an upscale kind of Marshall Fields, RIP.
Told you it was the best.
Dude, they were doing something right. I'm sorry.
It was so classy there. Even the bathrooms. That's what I mean. And then Macy's came through and like fleet it all up.
I know. It just made you feel luxury. KB Toys.
Yep.
Dude, I remember that. They were like, it was like a more confined Toys R Us, but like, I liked it. Linens and things.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Wow.
I know. Dude, we're going back. Okay. Mervyn's. We didn't have one of those. But
Mervyn's, yep.
Tower Records, which was another one. It was like a, obviously like CD type store, CD videos type store. Steve and Barry's.
Yep.
It was sportswear for teens. We didn't have one, but I guess that was. Do you remember Filene's Basement?
Mm-mm.
That was like right here on Michigan Avenue. It was kind of like a Marshall's and like a TJ Maxx type of store.
Okay.
But I seriously remember we would come from Indiana to the Filene's Basement, like here on Michigan Avenue.
At all.
It was badass because I feel like whatever Nordstrom wouldn't sell, they would just dump right there.
Got it.
Dude. You can find a lot of stuff at Filene's. Comp USA. This was like a place where you can buy like office supplies and like whatever kind of things, printing, postage type stuff.
Yeah.
And then and computer, anything like computer and technical, but it was like taken over by like Best Buy off it. Like they were kind of got gobbled. I think they got bought out, but that was another one I remember. Tivana, remember they would have stores. at our mall we had it, so it was basically like all the loose leaf teas and stuff like that.
I'm just thinking it was upstairs. My grandma loved it.
It got bought out. They merged with Starbucks.
Okay. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So
actually, that makes sense.
I think Starbucks bought their brand and ended up like whatever. Lord and Taylor.
I remember Lord and Taylor.
Nice luxury brand if you were a lady. Sears.
I remember Sears too. I feel like a lot of people would go to Sears for like lawn mowers, washing machines, big,
they're like
big
hardware things did really well. But like Sears department store always made me sad. So at our mall, the way it was designed, it was obviously like all the department stores were on the corners, right? Yep. So we had JCPenney on one side, Macy's on the other, Carson Perry Scott, R.I.P., and then Sears. No one would enter the Sears. It was like literally the only reason why you would go there because the food court was by it.
I feel like it was very niche of like you needed exactly what you needed. You would go to Sears for, and that's like it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Kmart.
Yep.
Sad.
Super K.
The blue light special. You remember my mom would talk about that all the time, but I never experienced that.
I never experienced it either.
Apparently like the lights would turn blue and they would like call out a special. So it'd be like toilet paper in aisle 8 and you would get it for like
$2.
$2. Yeah. Whatever it was, whatever the 50% off, whatever the deal was. I know my dad goes, everybody would run for the special. I'm like,
can you imagine now people pushing each other? I would be like, keep it.
Or like
keep it.
Seriously, what do you do? Just like my mom was like, sometimes people would just like linger in the store waiting for the blue light.
So awkward.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm good.
Circuit City.
Also remember that.
Oh my God. Borders.
There was like ABC Warehouse.
Oh, I don't
Did you ever have that?
No.
Yeah, it was like another. You could go for like if washer, dryer, fridge, dishwasher type of situation.
Okay. Nice. We did not have that. Did you have Borders?
Yeah.
The bookstore?
Of course we did.
Dude, I would
Can I tell you if I actually ever went in there? No.
Really?
I mean, no, not really. I looking back, I wish I read more as an early
I didn't read, but
teen.
I did homework there a lot.
Oh, really?
Or like meeting with friends to like grab a coffee or something. That was like a place where like if you wanted to go on a date with somebody but like didn't want to go on a date with somebody, you'd be like, oh, you want to go to Borders with me? And you would just like grab a coffee and kind of like chill. It was very like low key, but oh my God, I love Borders. Radio Shack.
Remember Radio Shack? Oh my God, what was the other one? Image.
Ooh, I don't know, maybe
something Image. Sharper Image.
Oh, yes. You
remember
that? Yes, I do remember Sharper Image.
Wow, look at us just. If you guys didn't know, all these places have closed.
You're too young for.
Shoot. Sorry
Blockbuster.
About it. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Blockbuster makes me sad too because I watched their documentary and it was like, everyone thinks that like Netflix took them down, but truly it was because they stopped charging for late fees. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Once they took that away, their business like completely crumbled, or they would still be here, I think. Anyway, Payless. Did you go to Payless? Oh, yeah.
Sure did. Walk down the aisle, flashing my shoes around.
My mom would be like, walk up and down, try it, make sure you look good. I'm like, okay.
You got it.
Or like they would have, the like thing that you would put your foot in to like measure. Oh my God. Man. Good times. Okay. Sports Authority.
I believe it.
Another one, Gymboree.
Yep.
Okay, you didn't bring this up, and I'm surprised because this is one of my top favorites, Charlotte Rouge.
Yeah, I have seen them though before.
Oh,
also, still
there's some around. They did.
Michigan has
2019. They filed for bankruptcy.
Okay,
so
yeah, I didn't know if it was like closed.
Yeah.
Oh, I love there. They had you could get some good boots.
They had the shoes.
Tens.
I don't know what those stilettos were, but man,
you could walk, honey.
They gave you the confidence you needed in your 20s.
Sure did. I don't think I could, walk like that now.
Barney's New York.
Yep.
A lot of those closed. Forever 21. JCPenney filed for bankruptcy in 2020, so we'll see what happens with them. Neiman Marcus filed for bankruptcy. And this is Pier 1.
Yeah, I loved Pier 1.
Man, they were expensive though,
Yeah, they
dude.
were.
And they like never budged.
No,
I'm like,
there was like no sale. You want
zero sales.
You want this picture? It's like $120.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like
and
literally half.
And
the
next
size.
week it'll be 120.90.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
they were like jerks, I feel like. Yeah, sorry, Pier 1, but it was a cool vibe in there with like the woodsy kind of feel. Okay, Guitar Center also filed for bankruptcy 2020. GNC filed for bankruptcy in 2020. Brooks Brothers, I never went to, but Steinmart.
Okay, so there's nothing open anymore. Go to him.
Seriously.
Go to the flea market. Go to the flea.
Yeah, okay, so that basically is kind of what I have, but like, what do you think about this overall? Like all of these brands that
I just think that it makes sense because of the way that people shop now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I really just think like all those stores, yeah, were great, but like there were still cheaper options and different, better places to go.
Right. Well, and also too, like if you think about like Radio Shack or like Sears or like some of these ones that were like a little bit more niche, right? Like it's like, well, why would I go to get batteries at Radio Shack and then go to, you know, the Sports Authority to get a football for my kid and then go to...
That's what I mean, too. And a lot
of... It's like, no, I'm just going to go to Walmart and get it all there.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Of Target, Walmart, all these big box stores, they have home stuff now. They
I don't have time for
stuff.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to the grocery store to get my groceries and then go, you know, to all of these places with, like, if it wasn't in the strip mall, I'm not going.
Yeah, agreed.
And like it sucks because some of them would provide some services. Like I know Radio Shack wasn't just selling that stuff. They would actually like help you set up things and explain things to you better. And it was like a better customer experience. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Like I think our lives have changed so much that we want faster things and we want, you know, to maximize our time.
Agree.
Anyways, does it make you sad?
I mean, yeah, but also I'm like, you guys closed for a reason. Kidding.
You made your money. See ya.
Clearly it wasn't.
I think it's like...
It's eye-opening.
The part that makes it sad
is
like, obviously, the nostalgia.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I just used to remember working so hard and then shopping would be like so therapeutic for me, or like just like I used to go to the mall all the time by myself. Like that was one thing I loved doing by myself was shopping. Just to like, even just to like walk and kind of like browse. Like I just love that. And I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, my God, I went to the mall for the first time in like literally years and I hated it.
Oh,
I hated every second.
Flee me.
I'm like,
I don't, get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
Gotta go.
And even the things that I did like
I don't know, and there's like weirdos now at the mall.
I can't.
Dude,
we
people watch, you're like,
oh my God.
This is what comes
But
to
even
the mall.
like the part that's annoying is like, so I went with my sister and we were like looking and I'm like, oh, do you have this? Like we were looking at the shoes, for example, at Nordstrom and we're like, oh, do you have this in this or any other colors, whatever? No, but we can order it online. I'm like, well, I could have done that at home.
In like literally my PJs with my legs up and my fuzzy socks on.
And I wanted to be like, I know, I'll just do it later.
Yeah.
Why did I even come here?
Thank you.
What do you think is the biggest issue? We kind of touched on a few.
I think it's not even, I just really think it's Amazon, all these stores now. I mean, I just ordered stuff from Good American and Skims because they had like a huge Memorial Day sale. It already came.
Yeah. Wow.
I ordered it on Saturday.
Yeah.
It came literally yesterday came one and Wednesday came one.
Wow.
So like,
I know.
And everything was half off. Like I got a whole bathing suit top and bottom for literally $48.
Right.
And it had free shipping and it came to my door.
Right.
That's what I think the difference is. I just think that I really think it's just people online shopping more.
Okay, well, let's go a step further, which I think is the main reason for me. Good American, Skims. These are brands that probably wouldn't have a storefront, but it's an influencer type based also sale. Right? Like when I mentioned when you would go to the mall, I would want to feel the fabric and take a look around and see what the other options were. Nowadays,
you have someone who's putting it on, showing you how stretchy it is,
sitting there on the internet explaining it, being like,
this
okay,
I would
it's a
size
little
up.
itchy. Exactly. It's a little tight here, like whatever, but
you don't even need to try it on
way.
anymore.
Exactly.
I literally watched a video on the bathing suit and I was like, I don't know, like usually that kind of stuff. Like it literally fits perfect.
100%.
I'm like, oh.
Yep. I literally now like follow so many people where it's like that have my body type where I'm like, well, if that fits her, it's going to fit me. You know what I mean? And I know exactly what it's going to look like. So why even waste my time? Or
for me, it's like, okay, I don't have a car in the city. I got to Uber there. I got to Uber back. We're now looking at $30 to $40.
You change your mind. You want to return it. You got to go back. Like
it's not convenient.
It's not convenient.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Or, again, just there's so many influencers now that I trust where it's like, okay, even if it's the dumbest thing, like a pad of paper, I don't know, like if someone's telling me it's a good quality and it's good add to cart, period. That's just how I shop.
Add it. Yes, girl.
Where do you think retail's going to go in the next 5 years? Like, do you think we'll kind of keep up with this, like less?
Yeah. I think it's going to be less storefronts, and then I think the storefronts that are going to stick around are going to become smaller for like rent reasons. And we just went to Abercrombie and Fitch in Gold Coast. When I tell you this was the smallest store ever, I was like, and the guy said Abercrombie as a whole wants to go into more of a boutique. It's going to be a small selection and everything is online. That's what he said. Right. So I'm like the options, it was literally like one section for men and then like the rest of the store for women. Yeah. And then like there was like three, like one small, one medium, one large. So one person takes it, you're ordering.
Yep, exactly.
What's the point of going to spend like the time then?
I know. Look, and there's a few things where, I do think the actual physical part of shopping is fun, and that is like when I'm on vacation, right? And you're like exploring a new town, and I think it's so fun to like go to like the little boutique shops around there. Like that's always fun, and I hope that those small businesses continue, because like I like that. You know what I mean? Like versus going to some of these like bigger brands that like I don't really care about, right? Like I love to support like, a small town lady that's selling, fashion pieces, right? Yep. Like I would do that. Or like even like holiday shopping. There really is something to say about like going to the mall during like Black Friday type stuff. Like that is fun, like
for sure.
Definitely love that. But like, I don't know, some of these places, I don't know. I'm not interested.
No.
So it will be interesting to see the shifts. Now, why did we bring this up? What does this have to do with flea markets, right? Like that's probably the main question here. And I just think that it's interesting because so many of these folks, like again, malls are losing their traffic.
We're gaining. Exponentially every day.
And the flea market is like a really good place to do that.
The places I would shop at would be a flea market.
A vintage place. Like,
where I can just see what everything.
Totally.
I don't have to literally go to 100 stores.
Exactly.
No.
But it's a fun thing. It's like it's an experience. It's like
an adventure.
Totally. Like it's just a bunch of mall kiosks all in one, essentially. I always like to think about it sometimes. And so, I mean, if you are a person that is a seller in these positions, like think about the flea. And if you are a shopper that kind of misses these nostalgic things, also come to the flea. There's so like, we mentioned Wet Seal, Charlotte Rouge, like all these brands that we used to love. So many so many booths like remind you of that stuff sometimes. Like the Charming Charlies with like all the clips and stuff, like all the ladies that sell all that stuff. I just like immediately go there. So I don't know, man. It's interesting.
We're gonna stay on this topic.
What a memory lane.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday, baby.
Literally.
I kind of feel old now.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
All right. Well, if we missed any brands, like tell us what
I was
we missed.
Gonna say too, like leave a comment and let us know what you guys miss.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
If you like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, thanks for listening to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea.
See you next week.